So we will continue our discussion on previous year questions. So here we have a question from Durkheim and from the topic of religion. So we have seen the comparison between Durkheim and Marx on religion by looking at two different perspectives. We have seen comparison between Durkheim and Weber and Marx also, and we have seen between Marx and Weber also. So here, this is a question which they have asked in 2022. Okay. So as you can see here, there's a 2022 question and it's a 10 marker. So what I'll do is I'll treat this as 20 marker for the explanation purpose, and just that, the contents will have to be reduced, right? So I'll be taking this as a 20 marker for the explanation purpose because this question is actually worth 20 mark. Now, what you need to do is critically examine and the relevance of Durkheim's view on religion in contemporary society. So 4 keywords are there. So you need to critically examine. That means you need to follow this formula CCR, where you will have to mention the contribution of Durkheim, and then you will have to write the criticism. That is what critically examine, and not blindly simple criticisms on religion. You have to write general criticism of Durkheim and then specific criticisms on religion. And it's already part of our structure. This R is relevance. Otherwise, also, they're asking relevance, right? Relevance of Durkheim in contemporary society. So this anyway is part of the structure. So these are the keywords that you need to look into. And what I have seen is many students see the word religion here and start immediately writing everything you know about Durkheim theory of religion. You start with the definition, the sacred and profane explanation of that. And then you start with the causal explanation of religion, right? The state of exaltation, collective effervescence, and all those, primitive people, everything. And then you start discussing the function of religion. So you basically discuss, just the theory as such, right? But that is not what actually asked by the examiner here. Examiner is not asking Durkheim theory of religion here. In fact, examiner is not asking you to write about sacred and profane also, and he's not asking you to write state of exaltation, collective effervescence, collective conscience also. What is asked here? Definitely, you will have to discuss Durkheim view of religion, and you need to examine whether those ideas are relevant today, right? Because today means the contemporary society, and you need to give that supporting examples of the relevance, supporting examples from the present society. Can you give this? So I'm just telling you the structure in which you'll be writing this answer, and then you will definitely have to write the critically examination part, and finally we will be concluding it with the balanced conclusion. Correct? So I'll repeat it again. We need to first identify what is the directive in the question, that is critically examine, right? This means you will have to explain his view, right? And then you will have to evaluate, critically evaluate, and then you have to criticize, and then you will have to conclude. And the simple formula is what I have given as CCR. Right. So one side answer should not be there. You should also be bringing other perspective. Now imagine here, Marx is not asked, Weber is not asked. You will have to bring in the other perspective and other thinkers also before your conclusion, and that fits the mark. That's where the real toppers, like if you see Nilesh Goyal, who got 293 mark and 2024 national topper, and Shubham got 296. That's the 2025 national topper. He got 296. These mentees, they have written in the similar way. So even if not asked about Marx or Weber, you will still have to write about that. So just don't think that I'll stick to the demand of the question, what has been asked I'll write. No, that's not the case. That is a latent demand of the question, and as a sociologist you should be knowing what is manifest, what is latent. This is what they asked, but there is something which is hidden also that you will have to write. So what is a core theme here? The core theme is religion as a social institution. And Durkheim, was not interested in whether religion is true or false. He's not saying it's true or false or anything, right? He is interested in what does religion do for society? What is the role of religion in integrating society? What is the role of religion in maintaining social order or social harmony or social integration or collective conscience or state of exaltation or collective effervescence, whatever language you want to put it. This is what Durkheim's concern was. So what are the areas which you need to cover here? Definitely, I need to have an introduction, one or two line about Durkheim, and then you need to have the theory briefly, his idea, right, where you can talk about sacred and profane. But what I told before is sacred and profane is not the answer for the question. You need to mention that. And then you talk about collective conscience, state of exaltation, collective effervescence, social solidarity, and all those. So you will explain the causal explanation of religion, and then you will talk about the functional explanation of religion, because this functional is what we are going to talk as the contemporary relevance. And then you talk about the contemporary relevance with supporting examples, and then we need the criticism, and then we need the conclusion. So I just want the structure to be framed in your mind, and that's why I'm stressing this again and again. Now let's start with the introduction, and then I give you the answer. See, this much is what I want you to know very clearly. Rest is there in your notes, your materials, your PDFs and everything. It is going to be the same only. So here, whatever I have given to my mentees and my students is what I'm discussing here. But this is almost the same. One or two couple of differences in terms of thinkers, in terms of application, maybe there. Otherwise, it will be similar. Now, before I move on to this answer as such, see what could be the introduction here. In intro, you need to mention about the book name also. So Émile Durkheim, in his book, The Elementary Forms of Religious Life, 1912, viewed religion as a social institution that reflects and reinforces the collective conscience of society, or conscience collective. You can put it in both way. It's up to you. And according to him, religion is not merely a belief in supernatural beings, but a system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things that promote social solidarity and moral regulation. Now, if you have time, if it is a 20 marker, definition properly need to be written. If it is 10 marker, as it is asked here, this is fine. Religion is not merely a belief of supernatural being, but it's a system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things that promote social solidarity and moral regulation. If it is 20 marker, write the proper definition. Religion is a system of beliefs and practices, related to sacred and profane, related to sacred things. That is to say, things set apart and forbidden. So you explain sacred. And then the function, the second part of the definition, all those who are following the same rituals and practices will be adhere to single moral practice and, single moral community called church. That religion definition you will have to completely write. Now, okay, now here, this is again very common thing, right? So for Durkheim, religion is fundamentally a social phenomena. Yeah, the definition is coming here. A unified system of beliefs and practices related to sacred things. That is to say, things set apart and forbidden and all those moral community called church. You can complete the definition. So religion reflects society worshipping itself. And sacred, profane, you need to mention. What are sacred? What are profane? Examples of sacred, examples of profane. And you can also talk about the collective conscience, shared belief and shared values and shared morality, all those, right? And then now comes to relevance of Durkheim in contemporary society. So Durkheim or religion continue to promote social cohesion. So Durkheim argued religion generates solidarity. So that remain highly relevant today. The Eid gatherings or church congregations, temple festivals, pilgrimages such as Kumbh Mela, all these events create social integration and collective belonging. Relevance. Now, religion continue to provide moral guidance. Of course, even now also, family values, charity, social responsibilities, ethical conduct. Even in modern societies, complex societies, these religious teachings help to shape the moral behavior. For example, many NGOs and charitable organizations continue to draw inspiration from religious ethics. Now, you can also discuss another relevance. Rituals continue to strengthen the social bonds. So Durkheim emphasized certain rituals like, even today, weddings, funerals, baptism, naming ceremonies, all these bring communities together and that reinforces the collective identity. These are simple examples, guys, which you can write. And then religion provide meaning and purpose. So modern life is having these issues like stress, loneliness, uncertainty, but religion continue to offer that hope, that emotional security and meaning, right? So that confirms again Durkheim insight regarding religion as an integrative function. Then this one asked us a separate question, civil religion. So you can mention about that. Religion can evolve. Today, many secular institutions perform the religious functions. For example, national flag, national anthem, Constitution Day celebration, Republic Day ceremonies. These functions like, sacred symbols, and that generate the collective conscience or the collective sentiment. Now, religion still continue to regulate behavior. For example, certain behavior like alcohol consumption, right? Religion prohibit that, marriage practices, sexual norms, community discipline. So that's a regulatory role of religion. Now we will talk about the critical evaluation. So here I have already given in your notes the general criticism of Durkheim. Write that 2 or 3 if it is 20 marker, 1 or 2 if it is 10 marker, and then others, right? Marx is the first one which should come, and then Weber, right? So both are here. You can talk about Weber's criticism. Focuses excessively on collective aspects and giving importance to society, but ignoring the individual meanings, personal experience, subjective interpretations, and all those you can mention. So religion cannot be reduced to collective conscience alone. And then you write the Marxian criticism. Marx argued that religion can legitimize inequality and exploitation. Right. So here you can talk about power, class domination, ideology, and all those. Now you can also talk about feminist criticism, reinforcing the patriarchal structures, right? For example, male religious authority. We discussed this in detail in the classes and the session. So it's a question answer solution. So we don't want to get into that depth of it. I just need to guide you where, you need to bring in. Secularization thesis. Again, modern society have witnessed declining religious participation, the rise of scientific thinking, individual spirituality. So in that context, it challenges Durkheim assumption that, regarding this religion is central and religion have that bigger role. That's actually reducing in the context of secularization. Religious conflict. Here you can talk about Merton also, right? I think you need to mention Merton. I think I've missed it here. Multiplicity of religion create conflict. So Durkheim emphasized integration, but religion can also generate communal conflict, sectarian violence, religious extremism. So it's not always social integration, it's not always social harmony, not so always social cohesion. But remember, what Durkheim says is those who follow same beliefs and practices, they are united under a one single moral community called church in this context. So those who follow Hindu religion and belief, they are united. Those who follow Islam religious rituals and belief, they are united. Those who follow Christianity, they are united. Those who follow Buddhism, they are united. But between them, it is different beliefs, it's different practices. So there is no unity. Between them, there is no similar beliefs or practices. So there is no unity. Within religion, there is unity. Okay, that is what I mean to say here. Now, this also, many contemporary sociologists argue Durkheim theory is increasingly applicable not only to religion but also to this sports fandom. This should be there in your answer, guys. Nationalism and political movements, online communities, and all those, right? So these groups generate symbols, rituals, and collective emotions which are similar to religion. So that basically expands the relevance of Durkheim's framework. So I've given you a framework. Now you have to fit your content properly into the framework which I've given. So my objective is not to give you the answer. My objective is to guide you, because answer, if it is require 200 250 words, I have already given you 2500 words for each of these. Okay. Now what is going to be the conclusion? So he'll say Durkheim view religion, or Durkheim understand religion, or Durkheim's view on religion is very relevant because religious communities or religion even now continue to provide social cohesion. That is there. Moral, whatever functions we discussed, moral regulation is there, collective identity is there, right? And also giving some sense of meaning also in contemporary societies. But his perspective is limited because he neglected now Marx, Weber. So conclusion is going to be the summary of what we discussed. Unless in GS question where we give a way forward and all, here we don't have that way forward. We don't have any suggestion. So it's a kind of summary, right? These are the two ways in which you normally write conclusion. And individual meanings, gender inequalities, religious conflicts. Therefore, on one side, or while Durkheim does not provide a complete explanation of religion, but his insight remain foundational and important for understanding the social functions, why gatherings and all, right, of religion, and both in traditional society and in modern society. So that is the way you will be able to conclude. So see, this is how you should be looking after. You get a question on religion, right? You will be talking about collective conscience. So which include either you will write conscience collective, social solidarity, social harmony, right? All those will come, or social cohesion, moral regulation, and thus maintaining social order. So if you want to add critical dimension, mainly just remember these three thinkers: Marx, Weber, Merton. So Weber give importance to micro or individual. Marx, you already know conflict perspective. Merton, as I discussed, multiplicity of, if it is one religion only, everyone following single beliefs and practices, then it's fine. But multiplicity of religion, where one believes and practice for other religion, the other religion have different religious beliefs and practices, so that can create conflict. You can also, most importantly, write feminist, right? Feminist. There you talk about religion enforces that patriarchal setup. So done, dusted. This is how it has to be done. So I hope it is very clear. Now, if you're looking for any classes or mentorship, contact our team. This is the Civils 360 contact details. You can contact the team and you can join the session. And I see you there, guys. Thank you so much.